Welcome back to High Stakes. Elevate your game by subscribing to our channel so you never miss our daily content. For exclusive access to our premium betting picks, join our Patreon. Find the link in the comments section below. Stay ahead with High Stakes. Washington Nationals vs. Atlanta Braves. After coming into this series on a 2-game win streak, the Nationals were smacked down in extra innings in the series opener, giving them a 5-7 record over the last 2 weeks. The offense put up 48 runs in that stretch and slashed .268/.321/.415 with an NL low 60 strikeouts in that span. Overall, this season, Washington's offense ranked 10th in the National League with 547 runs in 129 games, and their .245 team batting average ranked 8th. Jose Tena went 0 for 4 and struck out 3 times in Friday's loss, halting his 6-game hit streak. The rookie third baseman hit safely in 7 of 8 games since being traded to the Nats from Cleveland. He has also struck out 9 times in that stretch. The Nationals were surprisingly 6-3 in their first 10 games against the Braves this season. Things seem a bit different this time around, as the Nats have just about checked out while Atlanta is scraping tooth and nail to ensure their playoff existence. They luck into having Lopez on the hill in this matchup, and he has been sensational this season, striking out 112 batters in 109 2/3 innings. He has somehow been even better when pitching at Truist Park this season, going 4-1 with a 1.74 ERA, holding opponents to a .216 batting average. Since the All-Star break, Washington has gone 4-9 on the road. Take the Braves' money line. The Braves continue their postseason push, entering Saturday 5 games back of the Phillies in the East while maintaining a hold on the 2.5-game grip on the last wild card slot. In their last 2 weeks of play, a stretch of 13 games, the offensive Atlanta hit .257 with a .778 OPS and 64 runs scored, 4th most in the NL. They are 9th overall in the National League with 548 runs in 128 games, and they've slashed .242/.307/.414 as a club. Michael Harris too led off the bottom of the first in Friday's win with a solo home run, his 7th of the season and his first since his grand slam in his first game back from injury. Since his return from a hamstring strain, the Braves' outfield has hit safely in 7 of 9 games and has driven in 8 runs. The division foes have played things fairly tight against each other, and they've averaged a combined 7 runs per game in their 9 meetings this season. These two offenses are in the bottom half of all teams in terms of scoring, the Braves 16th with 4.28 runs per game and only 4.03 per game at home, while Washington sits 17th with 4.25 runs per game. Atlanta starter Lopez has done an outstanding job at not allowing his opponent to get away with much of anything. The Nats don't have a lineup strong enough anyways. The under was 5-4 in their first 9 meetings this season, and there have been 133 games between the two teams which have hit the under this year. Take the under. Houston Astros vs. Baltimore Orioles. Yusei Kikuchi is expected to take the mound for the Astros. He went 5.2 innings, gave up 6 hits, 1 walk, 1 earned run, and struck out 7 in a no decision in his last start against the Boston Red Sox. Kikuchi has a record of 6-9 with a 4.37 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, and a 161-37 KBB ratio in 26 starts this season. Opposing batters are hitting .190 against Kikuchi. Dean Kramer is expected to start for the Orioles. He went 6 innings, gave up 2 hits, 3 walks, 1 earned run, and struck out 7 in a win in his last start against the New York Mets. On the season, he has a record of 6-9 with a 4.30 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, and a 91/41 KBB ratio in 18 starts. Opposing batters are hitting .219 against Kramer. Baltimore has been excellent on offense this season. They are in the top 5 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, SLG, and OPS. The pitching staff has been average to good this season. As a team, they are around the middle of the league in ERA, hits allowed, and runs allowed. The Orioles are in the top 10 in the league in home runs allowed, strikeouts, whip, and batting average against. Yusei Kikuchi has faced the Orioles twice this season and has done well against them. However, this being the third time this year that they have seen him, Baltimore's high-powered offense will be able to hit him well and score runs on him. Baltimore has been excellent on offense this season. They are in the top 5 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, SLG, and OPS. Dean Kramer is expected to start for the Orioles and has allowed 1 earned run in 2 straight starts. Baltimore's offense will hit Kikuchi well, and the Orioles will win this matchup at home. Take the Orioles on the money line. This contest features 2 high-powered offenses. The Astros have been good on offense this season. They are in the top 10 or just outside the top 10 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, batting average, OBP, SLG, and OPS. Baltimore has been excellent on offense this season. They are in the top 5 in the league in runs, hits, home runs, RBI, SLG, and OPS. Yusei Kikuchi and Dean Kramer will struggle in this contest. This will be a high-scoring contest and the over will hit. Take the over, 8.5 runs. Los Angeles Angels vs. Toronto Blue Jays. The Los Angeles Angels have been struggling and are coming off Saturday's 3-1 road loss to the Toronto Blue Jays. The lineup went just 1-for-27 in the game with 3 walks and 13 strikeouts in the game. Taylor Ward's solo home run in the 9th inning was the only hit for the team in this game. Los Angeles went hitless in 1 at-bat with runners in scoring position and left 3 men on base. Carson Fulmer pitched well as he gave up a pair of runs on 6 innings of work. The Toronto Blue Jays have struggled this season but are coming off a 3-1 home win over the Los Angeles Angels. They were able to hit decently as the team went 8-for-31 with a pair of walks and 11 strikeouts during the game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. hit a homer in the game as well. Toronto did an okay job as they were 2-for-6 with runners in scoring position with 6 men left on base. Bowden Francis took a no-hitter into the 9th inning and pitched 8 innings with 1 run on 1 hit with 3 walks and 12 strikeouts in the victory. When looking at how these pitchers have been doing in their last 7 outings, there is a significant difference between these two. Tyler Anderson is 2-3 with a 5.01 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP in 41.1 innings, while Kevin Gausman is 5-1 with a 3.42 ERA and a 1.12 WHIP in 47.1 innings. These offenses have also been on 2 separate levels during the last couple of weeks, as in the previous 14 games. Los Angeles is scoring 3 runs per game while Toronto is averaging 4.57 runs per game. All in all, go with the Toronto Blue Jays to win this game and get the sweep of the Los Angeles Angels. My team pick is Toronto Blue Jays to win. When looking at how these teams as a whole have been pitching throughout the month of August, they are doing well as the Angels are 18th with a 4.48 team ERA during their 22 games, while the Blue Jays are 9th with a 3.70 team ERA in 21 games. These teams throughout the course of the regular season have not been too reliable with runners in scoring position. Los Angeles is 24th in Major League Baseball with a .703 team OPS in those situations, while Toronto is closer to league average, in 17th place in the sport with a .750 team OPS with runners in scoring position. Go with under 8.5 runs in this game here. My total pick is under 8.5 runs. Arizona Diamondbacks vs. Boston Red Sox. Merrill Kelly will start the finale of this game against the Red Sox. Kelly did not factor into the decision last week, allowing 6 runs on 8 hits and 2 walks over 5 innings Sunday against the Rays. He struck out 4 in the disappointing contest. Kelly struggled in his second start since returning from a stint on the 60-day IL with a shoulder injury. The Red Sox will start Tanner Houck in the finale of this 3-game series. Last week, Houck allowed 3 runs, 2 earned, on 8 hits and no walks while striking out 8 batters over 6 innings in a no decision against Houston. The Diamondbacks reached the World Series as a wildcard team last season and coming off a 3-game road sweep versus the Miami Marlins. They have won 9 of their last 12 games heading into the weekend. After their 10-8 victory over the Marlins on Wednesday, the Diamondbacks have an MLB best 31-13 record since July 1st. They lead the majors with 36 home runs so far in August. Jake McCarthy and Geraldo Perdomo homered during the win on Wednesday, and right fielder Corbin Carroll has hit 12 homers since July 7th. I like them to hop on Tanner Houck early, and although both pitchers are above average, this will be a high-scoring game in an Arizona win. Take the D-backs. Merrill Kelly will start the finale of this game against the Red Sox. Kelly did not factor into the decision last week, allowing 6 runs on 8 hits and 2 walks over 5 innings Sunday against the Rays. He struck out 4 in the disappointing contest. The aforementioned backs are on a rampage through August, so even if Kelly does not have it in this game, he will be given plenty of run support. The total has gone over in 15 of Arizona's last 20 games facing American League foes, and 13 of 20 facing the Red Sox. Take the over 9.5 runs. Colorado Rockies versus New York Yankees. Austin Gomber takes the ball in Sunday's series finale, and this will be the 30-year-old's 25th start of the 2024 campaign. All things considered, the left-hander has been a serviceable option for the Rockies, entering this contest at 4-8 with a 4.64 ERA, 59th, and 1.28 WHIP, 52nd. Most recently, Gomber faced the Nationals and surrendered just 1 earned run on 3 hits and 2 walks over 7.0 innings. It was a winning effort in a game the Rockies won 3-1. Marcus Stroman will oppose Gomber on Sunday afternoon, and this will be the 33-year-old's 25th start of the season. The right-handed veteran has looked good for the Yankees, going 8-6 with a 3.82 ERA and 1.38 WHIP. Stroman's coming off of a dominant performance against the Tigers, where he shut them out over 6.0 innings. He conceded just 4 hits and 2 walks while taking a no decision in a 3-2 extra innings defeat. The Rockies are arguably the worst road team in the MLB. From a standings perspective, only the White Sox, 13-53, have a worse road record than the Rockies, 18-49. So, maybe the better way to frame it is that Colorado has the highest variance level with their home/road splits. With that being said, I'll back the red-hot Yankees to cover the run line. New York has won its last 3 games, outscoring the opposition 18-1. They're rolling right now, and they'll take on Austin Gomber, which is a somewhat favorable matchup. From a head-to-head perspective, New York's current roster is slashing .333/.345/.632 against Gomber over 57 at-bats. Let's not overthink this one, let's ride with the Yankees. My team pick is New York Yankees minus 1.5 runs. While I think the Yankees do enough to cover the run line, I'm not expecting them to go absolutely nuclear. New York is just a middle-of-the-pack offense when facing left-handed pitching, ranking 13th in WRC+, 106, and 15th in WOBA, .317. Gomber has also looked good in his last 2 outings, logging a 2.08 ERA over 13.0 innings of work. On the flip side, I'm expecting a big performance from Marcus Stroman. The right-hander has also been electric recently, posting a 0.82 ERA in his last 2 outings, 11.0 IP. Oh, and remember how I brought up Colorado's poor home/road splits above? That is carried over to the stat sheet as well, where the Rockies are just 29th in both road team batting average, .219, and OPS, .639. Stroman should mow down this lowly lineup, helping to keep the game under the total. Chicago Cubs versus Miami Marlins. The Cubs have been an okay offensive team, and right fielder Seiya Suzuki, .830 OPS, 18 HR, as he is hitting the ball well and extending the lineup. Righty Javier Assad, 6-3, 3.11 ERA, will be on the mound, and he picked up a win last time out against the Detroit Tigers, where he pitched 5.2 innings and allowed 1 run on 6 hits with 1 walk and 7 strikeouts. The Miami Marlins have been doing terribly as of late, and so far this season, they are in last place in the NL East with a 46-83 record. The Marlins are 29th in MLB with a .662 team OPS while averaging 3.69 runs per game thus far. First baseman Jake Burger, .771 OPS, 25 hours, has been leading the way for the lineup and continues to try to improve at the plate. Right-hander Adam Oller, 0-1, 9.64 ERA, struggled in his 2024 MLB debut as he lost in the last start against the Arizona Diamondbacks, where he pitched 4.2 innings and gave up 5 runs on 3 hits with a pair of hit-by pitches, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. The Chicago Cubs have been the better overall team and should cruise to another victory in this game. Javier Assad has been doing very well with back-to-back starts of allowing just 1 run, while Adam Oller has struggled in his singular start this season, which we discussed earlier. These bullpens are also on 2 completely different levels heading into this game, as Chicago is 5th in the majors with a 3.58 reliever ERA, while Miami is all the way down in 22nd place in baseball, with a 4.14 bullpen ERA so far. The Cubs were able to dominate on Saturday, while the Marlins had to struggle to the point they used 4 different relievers to try to get the final 13 outs of the game. All in all, go with the Chicago Cubs to win this game on the road. Neither team has been able to be productive with runners in scoring position throughout the course of the regular season. The Cubs are 22nd in the sport with a .713 team OPS with runners in scoring position thus far, while the Marlins are even worse as they are 25th in all of Major League Baseball, with just a .689 team OPS in those at-bats. Javier Assad should be able to completely shut down the Marlins lineup, as he is 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA and a .254 batting average against in his previous 4 starts, 18.1 innings. Plus, with this being a day game after a night game, typically the backup catchers are going to be inserted into the lineup and make things a lot easier to navigate for the opposing pitchers. In the previous 12 games for both of these teams, Chicago is averaging 4.75 runs per game in that stretch, while Miami is scoring 4.25 runs per game, which are both strong numbers, but they are not going to be able to both get going in this game as the bats are going to be silenced. Go with under 8.5 runs in this game as the better option for this matchup. Texas Rangers versus Cleveland Guardians. The Texas Rangers have been a struggling team this year as they are fighting for a spot in the postseason. They are currently 3rd in the AL West standings as they are 9.5 games behind in the division, while they are 12.5 games back in the AL wildcard race. The Rangers have been struggling offensively as the team has a .238/.306/.378/ line while averaging 4.2 runs per game up to this point. The team has been able to hit for an okay amount of power as they are 19th in baseball with 138 total homers so far. Shortstop Corey Seager has been hitting well as he has a .849 OPS with 28 home runs, 70 RBIs, 64 runs scored, and 1 stolen base on 2 attempts this year. The defending World Series champions need a strong final 5 weeks to make the playoffs once again. The Cleveland Guardians have been doing a terrific job this season as they are best in the AL Central as they are 2.0 games ahead in the division heading into this game. Their offense has been doing decently as they are tied for 16th in the sport with a .704 team OPS and scoring 4.57 runs per game. The team has been extremely aggressive on the bases as they are 7th in stolen bases as they have 118 steals while being caught 33 times this year. Left fielder Stephen Kwan has been doing incredibly at the plate as he has recorded a .306/.367/.451/ line with 13 home runs, 38 RBIs, 72 runs scored, and 11 steals in 15 attempts. The Guardians have the talent to do well and need to hit more going forward. Cody Bradford and Matthew Boyd are going to be on the mound, and they are very similar to one another here, but when diving into the bullpens, there is a significant difference here as the Rangers are 25th in the sport with a 4.38 reliever ERA, while the Guardians are best in the majors with a 2.70 bullpen ERA so far. The pitching since the All-Star break as a collective shows a gap as Texas is 28th in the Bigs with a 5.30 team ERA, while Cleveland is 14th with a 4.02 team ERA right now. Go with the Cleveland Guardians to secure a win in this game. These offenses have been doing well as of late as Texas is averaging 4.07 runs in their last 15 games, while the Guardians are scoring 4.15 runs in their previous 13 games. However, since the All-Star break, these have been two of the worst teams as the Rangers are 27th and the Guardians are 28th in team OPS. All in all, go with under 8 runs as the better bet for this game. Detroit Tigers versus Chicago White Sox. The Detroit Tigers have been struggling at the plate as they are 24th in the majors with a .682 team OPS while averaging 4.21 runs per game. The team has lacked power as they are 23rd in the sport with 133 total home runs thus far. Left fielder Riley Green has been hitting well as he has a .839 OPS with 18 home runs, 55 RBIs, 64 runs scored, and 4 steals on 5 attempts. The Chicago White Sox are one of the worst teams we have seen in a long time as they are last in baseball with a .622 team OPS while scoring 3.11 runs per game. They are not hitting well as they are 29th in the majors with a .220 team batting average as well. Left fielder Andrew Benintendi has been brutal as he has a .621 OPS with 13 homers, 42 RBIs, 37 runs scored, and 3 steals while being caught twice. These pitchers are on 2 different levels throughout the last 7 games as Beau Brisk is 1-1 with a 1.69 ERA and a 1.31 WHIP in 10.2 innings, 4 starts, while Jonathan Cannon is 1-5 with a 4.32 ERA and a 1.34 WHIP in 41.2 innings, 6 starts. The last 6 games offensively shows a significant difference as the Tigers are scoring 5.33 runs per game while the White Sox are averaging 2.67 runs per game in that stretch. All in all, go with the Detroit Tigers to win in this game. When looking at the pitching splits for these starters, they are doing well as Beau Brisk is 1-1 with a 3.28 ERA and a .170 batting average against in 24.2 innings during his 15 road games, 2 starts, while Jonathan Cannon is 1-2 with a 3.20 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP in 45.0 innings in 8 games, 6 starts, at home. Since the All-Star break, they are not hitting well enough as Detroit is 24th in the majors with a .666 team OPS in 33 games while Chicago is last with just a .599 team OPS in their 32 games. Go with under 9 runs in this game as the better bet. Philadelphia Phillies versus Kansas City Royals. Philadelphia logged 4 runs on 11 hits in Game 1. The Phillies were in control until Taijuan Walker allowed 5 runs in the 3rd inning. All said, for Phillies logged multiple hits at the plate. Bryce Harper accounted for 2 of their runs and Alec Bohm continued his strong play at the plate, logging a hit and holding a .295 batting average on the season. Kansas City busted the game open when they rattled off 5 runs in the 3rd inning. The Royals finished with 12 hits as 4 players finished with at least 2 hits at the plate. Salvador Perez and Hunter Renfroe each logged a home run and they combined for 5 RBIs. Michael Wacha got the start and over 6 innings he allowed 2 runs on 6 hits while striking out 5. The Royals have not only seen the ball well all season, but they are currently posting their strongest monthly batting average in August. The Phillies have been able to lean on their home run hitting ability, but the Royals pitching staff has been among the best in the league when it comes to limiting the long ball. The Royals remain patient at the plate and that will allow them to drive home runners at a continued high rate. My team pick is Kansas City Moneyline. The bats were hot for both clubs in Game 1, amassing a total of 23 combined hits. Both of these clubs have struggled in daytime games and the Phillies have hit weaker on the road this season. Kansas City continues to limit the long ball and the pitching staff finds ways to get out of innings without falling apart. The Royals' bats have been impatient at the plate at times, falling to 28th in walks received, and this could hamper their ability to put together multi-run innings. My total pick is under 8.5 runs. Tampa Bay Rays versus Los Angeles Dodgers. The Rays have lost their previous two contests, including a 7-3 defeat at the hands of the Dodgers in the series' first game on Friday. With the score tied at 3 apiece in the ninth, reliever Colin Poche led up a walk-off grand slam to Shohei Ohtani. Starter Tyler Alexander lasted 4.1 innings for the Rays, allowing 3 earned runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. Newly acquired third baseman Christopher Morel and SS Junior Caminero went deep for Tampa Bay in the loss. 13 Rays batters struck out in the game. Tampa Bay's offense has struggled this week, scoring 3 runs or less in 4 of their previous 5 matchups. The Dodgers won their 5th straight game on Friday when they took down the Rays 7-3. With 2 outs in the ninth and the score tied at 3, Shohei Ohtani hit his 40th home run of the season, a grand slam, to give his team the victory. He became the fastest player in Major League history to hit 40 homers and steal 40 bases in a season. Third baseman Enrique Hernandez had 2 hits and smacked his 8th home run of the season in the win. Reliever Michael Kopech picked up his 4th win of the season by pitching a perfect ninth. Starter Bobby Miller went 6 innings and allowed 3 earned runs on 7 hits while striking out 9 batters. The Dodgers pitching staff has excelled recently, limiting their opponents to 3 runs or less in 4 of their last 5 games. Rays hitters feasted on Dodgers pitching during their 3-game set last season, producing a .345 batting average with a .545 slugging percentage. Tampa Bay scored 9 runs or more in 2 of the 3 games. The Rays have excelled on the road recently, losing only once in their previous 4 series. They took 2 of 3 games from the Astros in Houston and the Blue Jays in Toronto. Tampa Bay ranks in the top half of the league in several key pitching categories, including 13th in ERA with 3.91, so the Dodgers may have difficulty putting runners in scoring position throughout the contest. Despite their solid season overall, the Dodgers have struggled against the spread, losing more than half of their games. Baz has excelled in his prior 3 starts, 3.32 ERA, and on the road, 3.04 ERA. Stone got crushed in his lone start against the Rays, giving up 7 runs in 2 innings last season. The stats and trends strongly support a Tampa Bay victory on the road in the series' final game. My team pick is the Rays. Baz pitched effectively in his previous 3 games, producing a lean 3.32 ERA and tossing 7.2 innings of scoreless ball in his last start. He has also done well on the road in 2024, generating a 3.04 ERA in 5 starts. All 3 games played by these 2 squads last season went over the run total, with 44 runners crossing the plate during the series. The Rays exceeded 8 runs twice, and the Dodgers scored 10 runs in the series opener. Dodgers hurlers produced a bloated ERA of 9 throughout the series. The Los Angeles offense ranks in the top 10 in multiple categories, including batting average, so they have the tools to score quickly in bunches. They have excelled in front of the home crowd in 2024, ranking 3rd in the majors in slugging percentage with .446. The Dodgers have pushed or exceeded the run total in their last 3 games at Dodger Stadium. Tampa Bay ranks 23rd in the league in ERA during day games with 4.31. Most signs point to a higher scoring affair in Los Angeles on Sunday. My total pick is the under 8.5 runs. San Francisco Giants versus Seattle Mariners. San Francisco is in a stacked division featuring 3 teams with winning percentages north of .560, so there's really no shame with their 4th place spot in the NL West. Heck, they're playing pretty solid baseball this season, sitting at 65-65, .500. However, this will likely not be enough of an effort to get them into the postseason. The Giants, as of this writing, Saturday afternoon, are sitting 5.0 games off the final wild card spot. The oddsmakers have San Francisco priced at plus 1,400 to make the playoffs, minus 3,500 to miss. It has been a roller coaster ride of a season for the Mariners, but Seattle has been on the downswing for a while now. They were on a 1-8 stretch after getting swept by the Dodgers 3-0, 6-3, 8-4, and the front office finally stepped in, firing manager Scott Servais. Dan Wilson will take the reins moving forward. Seattle erased a 5-1 lead against San Francisco on Friday night. With the way their offense has played this season, you would have never thought that was possible. However, with Dan Wilson taking the reins of the team, maybe we're getting a spark with the Mariners. I'm going to ride them while they're in this honeymoon stage under the new manager, especially considering they'll send the red-hot Bryan Woo to the bump. As for the Giants, they'll send Robbie Ray to the mound. The left-hander has been underwhelming, logging a 4.88 ERA over 7 starts. That's pretty consistent with his last 4 outings this month, where he owns a 4.91 ERA. Ray has conceded at least 2 earned runs in 4 of his last 5 starts, and that could be enough run support with Woo opposing him. I'll ride with the Mariners since it looks like they have some life with the managerial change. My team pick is Seattle Mariners moneyline. I wanted to save my Bryan Woo analysis for this portion, as I believe he'll be the driving force to the undercashing. Woo has been tremendous this year, posting a 2.12 ERA and 0.83 WHIP. The right-hander has logged 4 consecutive quality starts. From a head-to-head standpoint, San Francisco's current roster is slashing just .167/.286/.250 against Woo over 12 at-bats. It's not a huge sample size, but I think it holds some weight since he has been so dynamic on the rubber. On the flip side, we just can't ignore how bad Seattle's offense has been. They're dead last in team batting average, .216, this year while sitting 28th in OPS, .667. This is a bottom-tier offense, and while Robbie Ray hasn't been lights out, he should manage to limit this lowly Seattle offense. I'm playing the under.